Some of y'all seen that I got a new 3D printer, an X1 Carbon from Bamboo Labs, and that thing is incredible. Like, it's phenomenal. So I'm trying another body. Well, two that are identical. This is a like 78, 77 Grand Wagoneer, or just Wagoneer, I'm sorry. Just the Wagoneer. The Grand Wagoneer had the faux wood panel. This one won't have that. This is just the Wagoneer. And look, I don't know if you can tell. That's how good that printer is. It's like crazy good. My van was printed on my Ender 3, and it took a lot of work. This one on my X1 Carbon, and it printed, I want to say my van, I think there's 10 pieces to it, and it printed each one of those at like 30 plus hours. So I did it kind of slow, so it turned out nice. This one, I think this one took 22 hours. These two took, I don't know, 12 hours, and then this one took around 21, 22 hours. Anyways, let me backtrack a little bit. I got this file. I bought a file from Colts 3D. That's where I got my van one too. And I printed it. And this is still when I had my Ender. Alright, let me backtrack. So I bought this file on Colts, or actually I bought a different file. I bought this one on Colts 3D, and the way they had cut the file, each, like the fender was a different piece, the grill was a different piece, the hood is a different piece, which is cool, or sounds good, you know. But when you glue it together, they don't fit very good. And maybe they do if I had a better printer, but I didn't. Anyways, I've seen somebody share printed Wagoneer file, same one, but it was all one piece, or it was two pieces. And I said, hey man, how'd you get it that way? Mine didn't come out this way. And he sent me a file. Actually, it's a Bamboo Labs project file, so I can only open it in Bamboo Labs Slicer. And it wasn't scaled right, at least in my opinion. So I had to scale it to 312. I think that's 12.3 inches, something like that, 311. And then I got it all scaled right, and then Bamboo Slicer has a thing where you can split the pieces in half. So I split it up 1, 2, 3, 4, and I printed it. Now this one, it didn't have the alignment tabs, so I just glued it together the best I could. And then I welded the back with soldering iron. But it didn't line up very good. You can see, that's the door. You can see right here the seams. This one's alright. This one back here is not great. And this one's okay too. Anyways, with the van I put it into Colts 3D. With the van I put it into Tinkercad, and I split it in half, and I added alignment tabs and stuff. So Bamboo Slicer, it has a thing where you can export STL. I don't know if Cura does or not. So I exported it, put it into Tinkercad, and now I added alignment tabs that I can screw together all the way around. And that makes everything way easier to glue up. Yeah, right there. The only problem with Tinkercad is because it's a, I guess, low quality program, you'll end up with like imperfections. Like right there's a weird line. Right there's a weird line. But that's all fixable. All fixable. That Bamboo Labs X1 carbon, it eats up some filament. This is almost, I had an almost brand new spool, and it burned through that, and then I had to add white because I ran out of black. Good quality though. One thing I don't like about this file is like the van, all the mirrors are separate, the lights were separate, the grill was separate. This would have been separate. You know, the door handles, hinges, all that separate. That makes body work and paint work a lot easier. Alright, I'm gonna screw these together with just like a little gap, and then I'll put the glue in, and then I'll go from there. This one, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I might just sell it as is. You know, I've done barely any body work. I pretty much just glued it and then primed it just to see where I needed to do the body work at. All glued together, hit the screws. When I started sanding, there was one where it just stripped out. I'm gonna try to take that out later, but because of that knob right there, I couldn't get a straight attack on it, so strip that one out. I'll probably just cut that off. But yeah, all screwed together with M3s. I just used countersunk because that's what I had the most of, and I never use them. I guess, except for right there, I used the button head. Had I thought about it, I would have countersunk them in Tinkercad. Another reason I wanted this in Tinkercad was to do those alignment tabs for one, and two, this one has a bumper on it, and I want to use a bumper that like attaches to the frame, to the chassis, not the car itself. All right, now I've already started sanding a little bit. I don't even know what this is, 120. This is just whatever I had laying around. I'm gonna do that, prime it, sand it, then go from there. First initial sanding is done for the most part. That grill is gonna be a son of a bitch. I'm gonna spray it with some primer. That'll let me know where I need to sand more and where I need to fill. I haven't done any filler yet. I'm gonna do this primer first. I don't know if like that Wagoneer is gonna stay on there. That's like super hard to get around and sand. Same with that one, and it's gonna be probably even harder to paint. I might just sand those completely off. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna paint it or prime it. Yeah, see, now that we primed it, you can see a lot more of the layer lines. You can see the seams a lot more. That's kind of weird right there. It looks like a little bit of Z-wobble. I printed this at 0.16. I probably should have did it at 0.12. That's alright though. Way easier to tell how much work you got cut out once it's primed. Primer will show all the defects. First bit of filler Bondo work is done. And I'm going to prime it again. And then just keep going from there until I can't see layer lines or any gaps or anything. Just like I did with the van. Now I'm going to take some plastic wood and some acetone, mix it in my wife's Pampered Chef like dip bowl thing. It don't hurt it. She's probably already mad at me anyways. And then I'm just going to cover the whole thing, sand it smooth, and keep repeating that process until I can't see any more layer lines or imperfections. There you go. That part is done. It is a mess. But yeah, the sand's super easy. I'll probably just use 400 grit from here on out. Sand's easy. This is probably going to be a pain in the butt. That's where I had like a, what do you call it, like a Z-wobble or something. There's an artifact there, as they call it in 3D printing. That's a seam, that's a seam, and that's a seam. And the rest I just kind of went over that with the acetone, plastic wood. Just a soupy mix is all you want. And I'll keep doing that, sand it, keep doing it until I don't see any more layer lines and everything is smooth. No layer lines, no seam lines, nothing like that. Alright, that's done with sanding, I hope. I did a couple layers of the plastic wood with acetone. That's really easy to sand, and you can get it thin enough to where it goes everywhere. There was a couple spots here and here that I went back with the Tamiya putty. I think white, Tamiya white, basic, whatever it is. And right there, I think. So now I'll wipe it down and we'll start doing brown primer. You can still see a little bit where, right there where the seam is, but that's alright. Once it gets enough paint and primer and stuff on it, it won't be bad. Dang, every time I move this thing, it's just attracts dust and dirt. Alright, let me get some brown primer on this. But you just want to keep doing that plastic wood and acetone until you can't see layer lines. There's a lot of 3D printed bodies are getting more and more popular. And I see them more and more on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and it doesn't seem like anybody's doing the work to get rid of the layer lines. They're just painting it. I think it could look a lot better if you get rid of the layer lines. Even if you have a really, really nice printer, you're gonna see some layer lines. Do the part and do the work, and make it look nice. I mean, this is still gonna be a beat up old Jeep, but you ain't gonna see layer lines. Alright, let me get some brown primer on here. This is done with the primer, done sanding and filling everything. I think it turned out pretty good. I got some dust settled in the primer. That's alright though. I will just give it a light sanding before I do the final paint. Overall, turned out pretty good. The light in here kind of sucks, but I think it'll show up on camera just fine. There's like a little line right here I just couldn't sand away. That's about it, really. I'm waiting for some chisels or like scribers to scribe in these door lines a little bit better. My X-Acto blade just ain't cutting it. That's part of the file. I don't know why. They were only cut like right in that area. Just at the top of the doors. And then like there was some light lines there for the top of the door panels, like the top of the door edges. Those have been filled and primed, all that stuff. So I'll have to cut those in. I don't think that right off the printer, this thing looked really good. You could tell that it said Wagoneer and everything, but after sanding and priming and filling and priming, all that stuff, you can't really see it no more, so that'll just be kind of painted silver, I guess. And you'll have to use your imagination. This would be kind of a tricky paint job since I'll have to tape off everything and paint it. Like these handles, I'll have to paint after the whole body. Well, that'll be difficult. Well, yeah, I'll get started putting together the chassis part and test fitting all this before I do any paint work. Look at this little dog. Hey, Mud. Hey, Mud. Yeah. Leaves a cloud of hair everywhere. It leaves a cloud of hair everywhere. Don't ya? Alright, hold on. So this is my Defender. I'm pretty sure I said it in a previous clip, but I'm going to use this as the donor chassis to the Wagoneer. I like this thing. It looks great. It just sucks crawling. Like, it doesn't suck. I don't want to say that. It does pretty good. It's just real top heavy. And it didn't make it any better with the kayak up top either. But yeah, I'm going to put it back to stock. Probably sell off these Rock Pirates shock towers. And I bought a kit from Jenny's. Oh, hold on, did I just give away my address? I bought a kit from Jenny's RC, and the only pieces I needed were the fenders, but it's like 18 new from Traxxas or 26 new from Jenny's for this whole kit. So I just bought this whole kit. Pretty cheap. Always go to Jenny's. There you go. These are the 79 Bronco fenders. I cut the, the clipless body attachment off. I'm sure that'll still work, but if I could figure out how to get that part. And anyways, cut that part pretty much just flat with this. And then I had to cut the trim off this amount right here. So not a lot, or however this goes. There you go, something like that. That much, just this lip, both sides, and then kind of contoured the back halves of each. Yeah, that's about it really. This is I'm sure I talked about it already. This was my Defender, and it had this battery tray on there. Had these high clearance links. Actually, I just had to put shorter ones of those on there to shorten it up just a little bit. All right, now I'll do some magnets up here and here, and the bumpers, and then that should be ready for final paint, which will probably be a different video. All right, stay tuned. All right, I got the initial fit on this body, and doing good so far. It is, hopefully I didn't just break it, Jesus Christ. It's held in with it's going to be held in with magnets, but right now, if you can see, like that right there where I put the halves together, or I guess thirds, fourths, whatever it is, where I put the two pieces together, it is what, well, there's one underneath here. See? That catching on the fender wells is what keeps it coming all the way off, front and back. And it's on there pretty good. Let me see. Sorry. See? But it does lift up until those things catch the fender wells. But pretty good. Definitely side to side. Magnets will keep it from coming up and down, and bumpers. Once I've designed some bumpers for this, it'll be pretty good. And you can see where I started marking for tire clearance. These are 4.3 Swampers by Proline, or Proline Super Swampers, and 4.3 size, whatever you want to say. And that's the tire that I want to run. I have 6 of these. They don't make these anymore. They're kind of hard to come by. Probably will not use these wheels. But yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. Looking like just a beater old Waggy, you know, like it. If you're old enough, you've seen a few of these in your day. And I guess these are 4.3, so I think that's the equivalent to like 38s. Not quite 40s. I think 37 or 38. Because 419 is like 35s, I think. Maybe these are 37s. Somewhere right there, 37, 38s. Looking pretty good. And this will be like a well patinaed body. Or well patinaed, yeah, paint job. I've had to take it on and off about a dozen times trying to get those bumpers right. Alright, I don't know where I left off last time I worked on this thing. I got the bumpers done. This one needs to be moved in just a little bit. I need to adjust those holes next time I print it, the mounting holes. Rear bumper is done. This one I think sits okay. I think it could be a little bit better. I'll have to fill in that right there. Most importantly though, I got the body mounted, and I used, just like the van, these bumpers kind of hold it from going side to side, and kind of designed a magnet mount in Tinkercad. But it works pretty good, I think. Oh, see right there, that was too much, but most of it works pretty good. So it's the same way my van is mounted. You can pick the whole thing up by it. Ain't budging. Unless I'm really up front. This one right here is like the way the van is done, and this one. I don't know if you could see that. Oh, that's just my fat thumb. Hold on. See that little knob right there? Same on this side. On the van, it's a little bit closer to the fender. Like that slides over the fender. On the van, it's a little bit closer, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But not bad though. It just, if I were to print this again, I would raise those up by, I don't know, 5 millimeters or so. Yeah. Now I've already got the lines marked where I'm going to trim for tire clearance. So it'll be all this. On the back, this thing doesn't have a very good, what do you call it, descent angle? It's got a lot of hangover over the rear wheels. I guess that's just the nature of a SUV or a wagon. It's basically an off-road wagon. Yeah, I'm going to trim these up right quick with my Dremel, and we'll do another test fit. Here are the magnets that I made. They got little cups, like recesses or retainers, whatever you want to call it, to help it from sliding. Right, because the magnet has good up and down strength, but not any, or tensile strength, but not any shear strength. I think that's the words I'm looking for. I'll probably upload that to Thingiverse or whatever. Works good. And then here's the little knob. It's essentially just one of these where I put the body halves together, or body quarters together. That one should have been raised up just a little bit. That's right. Maybe I'll come up with something else. Alright, the fenders are trimmed up for the bumpers and the tires. I probably could do a little bit more on the tires, but on the fenders, but I'm going to leave it as is for now. Those are 4.3 swampers, and I may go down to 419s or something like that. But so far so good. Doing a little test here in my garage. Alright, not bad. Alright, here you can see a little bit better. I may trim that up just a little bit more right there. Everything else though looks pretty good. Alright, who knows when the next time I work on this thing is. It's like a couple weeks or months in between clips that you're seeing. So this will be one video, but yeah.